Well, if there's any such thing as trial and error, this is probably going to be it since we threw this together. So just to kind of give everybody a little bit of an idea of what we're doing, Jim Palmer had an amazing idea to come out with kind of a sister type episode of our podcast called Ruckus on the Road. And oddly enough, Jim is actually at the airport right now. So it's really cool to see somebody with, I mean, the background is amazing too, to see somebody out getting ready to go. So Jim, first of all, thank you for the amazing idea. It's awesome to have you back here. I love having you on here. And tell us what you're up to.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. And I'd like to say that I come up with good ideas all the time, but this is my one for the summer, so I think I'm done. But yeah, I'm at Denver International Airport, and I'm on my way to Las Vegas to set up the network for Black Hat, the information security conference that is happening next week.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I guess you don't necessarily correlate Black Hat with InfoSec conferences and Wi-Fi equipment, even though there's a lot of tie-ins there. So on the surface, most people would be like, what's a wireless company doing here? So what kind of things are you going to get into there? Because I think it's awesome.
So the thing you got to remember is, I mean, we talk about wireless, and I'm a wireless guy, but in the same aspect, we also do, switching. We also do cable plant. I mean, we do all of this stuff. And so what happens is when you take a bunch of people that do information security, and some of them are, they're white hats, they're defenders, there's these people that really focus on protecting our data and protecting our information. But there's also people there that sort of like, hey, in order to protect, we have to know how to do the bad things. So what happens is when you get all of these people together into a convention center, and then you go to the convention center and say, hey, we want to put all these people on your network, the convention center says, yeah, not happening. You're not going to let a bunch of stuff go on our network. So you have to go in and build your own network. So there's a team of us from CommScope Ruckus, and we go in and we have to build the layer 1 and the layer 2 network, and then we partner with some other people to build an entire network on the fly, because the convention center will not allow anybody to get on there. And they kind of have a point, because when you're trying to demonstrate how you're a vendor and you're like, hey, we can catch all this bad malware on your network, you need a network to transport that, but you also need somebody that knows what they're doing in order to allow that malware to be transported over the network, but not to infect the network, and let somebody else demo their product. And so, yeah, the convention center is like, not only no, but no. And so they bring us in, and we will build this network on the fly, and get it all up and running, and we'll run it for 3 days, and then we shut it down, pack it up, and wait for the next one.
So I know this much. I asked Pyro this morning, a friend of mine he's actually done a podcast with us as well. He made a mistake 1 year at Black Hat and used an ATM. So if you can help it within the hotel, do not use an ATM. But I know building the network is a huge piece of it, but is there going to be an opportunity there I know we've had some vulnerabilities and we've had different things happen, and that stuff happens in this world. I mean, things happen, right?
Right.
Do these guys that are attending this conference, is there ever an opportunity for them to try to crack some of this stuff and get into it and see if they can break our equipment?
Well, not at Black Hat per se. The opportunity does exist, and so it is something that we take very seriously. And the cool thing about Black Hat is we partner with other companies that do networking, that do information technology stuff. Palo Alto, we're actually partnering with Cisco, RSA, NetWitness, and a couple others that I know I'm forgetting. But we all partner together to build these networks. And while the general rule is, because people pay a lot of money to go to Black Hat, please don't hack the network and crash the whole thing. DEF CON, which happens right after that, is really more of the wild, wild west, where you don't really want to even get your devices out. But we try really hard to protect the network, to build a secure network, to make sure, because there's some people that, they're like, ooh, I just learned about this thing in my class. I just learned about this thing in a briefing, so let me go try to hack the network. So it is something that we take very seriously. And it's fun because you get to go into a NOC, we build a network operations center, and and you partner with some of the best in the business, and you sit there and you build a network, and then you run it with some of the most malicious and angry and bad stuff you'd ever want to have on a network, and you make it all work, and it's quite the experience.
That is really cool. I'm going to be fully honest with you. I'm a little bit jealous too, to be honest. But so one of the things that we had talked about in doing this is we were going to do this lead in to, you're headed out, you're on the road, and then we're going to follow this up afterwards. So if you were to sit here and think about it now, because I know you're a sharp guy and you know your stuff really well. What are some of the things you're really expecting to see there when you get this network built? What are some of the things you're kind of like, I need to pay attention to these things the most?
So the thing that makes this the most interesting is, from a Wi-Fi perspective, the venue won't turn off their Wi-Fi. So we go into what is the worst possible Wi-Fi scenario you can get, which is we're going to build a enterprise-grade overlay network into an area that already has an enterprise Wi-Fi network, and we can't use it. And so it's really just about, hey, how do you adapt and overcome that? And some of the challenges that go with that. And so that's really where we start breaking out all the cool tools, and we do all these things so that we can build this network, because we really only have a week to get the thing up and running, because registration starts a week from today. And so we basically have to uncrate everything, deploy 80, 90 APs, about 25 to 30 switches. 20 switches are going out and about, and we're putting 30 or 10 additional. So we have a week to do this, and it's cable plant, copper, fiber, switching network, layer 2. We use the Ruckus ICX platforms. We have a couple different models that we use depending on where we're going, and then we're using the Ruckus APs to get all that up and running. So it's pack everything you own and hope that you brought enough stuff that you can deal with any problem you can think of with standing up an enterprise grade network on the fly and doing it in the presence of a whole other network.
There's a lot of people listening to this right now going, "Oh man, I feel your pain. I've been there, done that." A week is not a lot of time to deploy that much equipment. That's a lot. So how long did it take you to get through security?
Security's not too bad. Luckily, they have a cool lane here at the airport, which allows me to not unpack my 3 laptops, a couple tablets, 3 Raspberry Pis, a couple WLAN Pis, some NetAlly handheld tools, and some other stuff that I have. So it was nice. I didn't have to unpack all that stuff. If I would have, it would have taken me an hour. So
I've been there.
That wasn't bad.
Good. So how big of a team you taking out there to put all this stuff together?
So there's going to be 4 of us working pretty much nonstop for the next week. So it's going to be quite the experience. But the cool thing that the Black Hat's doing this year is there's actually going to be a live feed of the Network Operations Center that we'll be working in. And that's going to be on Twitch. So it's just twitch.com/Black Hat NOC. And starting a week from today, you'll be able to go on there during the middle of the day when we're working and actually be able to watch us on a live feed as we work and what we do and the different challenges that we come up against.
Wow, that's cool.
That's free to anybody so you can tune in and you can watch us. And then, if you see me sprinting out the door for some reason, then you know that something's gone horribly bad somewhere else. And you go, wow, Jim's having a really bad day. If I'm just sitting there like typing, then you know that Jim's having a good day. So you'll be able to check in on us and see how we're doing as a team.
I wonder if we could I might have to figure out how to get a betting pool going. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you. Will Jim run today? Will he be typing today?
Oh, you know what? If you do that, I want in.
Okay.
I want in. If you do a pool, I want in. I'm because it's going to be like Tuesday, about 30 minutes after the stream goes live. All of a sudden, you'll see me go, "Oh no!" and run out the door.
We might have to do it. Oh yeah. Well, it sounds like as complex as it is, we might have to do an over-under on how many times you run the first day and then how many times you run subsequent after that.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, we'll have to come up. We'll play with some numbers. We'll be in touch. So I'll put the link to the Black Hat NOC Twitch channel in this description too. because as soon as we're done, I'm going to post this. So I'll get it in there.
Yeah.
I know you're at the airport. You've got probably about 20 minutes before you start boarding here. But I wish you all the best of luck. We've got a great team going out there. I think it's a great conference and a lot of good things that come of that. So thank you for what you're doing. Thanks for taking the time to do this. This has been a lot of fun. And yeah, keep me posted. I'll figure out some over-under numbers for you.
Yeah, and then next Thursday, so Thursday the 5th, I need to mention this, at 11 a.m. Pacific time, Pacific Daylight Time, so California time, on Thursday the 5th, I'm actually going to be doing a presentation to the Twitch channel, talking about how we did the network, and so it's sort of going to be like a in the moment during the event, how we did it and how things are going, and then when I get back, we'll have to do a follow up and we'll break it down a little bit more, and I will hopefully not be sitting in an airport when we do that next one.
Hopefully not. I'm hoping at least. So I'll make sure I get the link in there, and then Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, which is noon Mountain, 1 o'clock, no, 2
That's
o'clock
too much
Eastern.
math.
I know
Math
it's become algebra at this point. I can't even do it. So. So, all right. Hey, I wish you the best of luck out there. If you need anything on this side, let me know. Have fun. Hopefully you don't run a lot, and we'll follow up when you get back.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Awesome. Thanks, Jim. Good luck and safe travels.
All right. Thanks, man. See ya.
All right. Take care.